I've got to get the sun out of my eyes here so I can get an idea what you're looking at. It's very bright behind the phone, so I can't see myself talking. I will be able to in a moment because I'm going to open up the live stream in chat, or I mean there we go. There. Now chat should be live, and some of you should start to show up in the room, in the chat room. Look at that. I wonder how I edit the title to say Vaccination Day, post-vaccine chat. Let's see if I can get it here. Videos, visibility, views, monetization. Oh, live ones are here. Now I can't see one that needs a new name. Boy, this is tough. There we are. Still no one in chat. No one here. Oh, there we are. MILC and Schooley and Keith Clark. Awesome. It's actually working. I see myself a little bit later than you, but at least I can look at myself in this camera or on YouTube screen, and I can tell, like, if you've watched my videos, there goes a couple of motorcycles. They're like motorcycles driving by while I'm creating a video or I'm being live are pretty common. So sounds coming from outside. I'm on the street, obviously, because I'm in my bus. There's not many places I can go that aren't much like a street or don't have traffic. So any live that I ever do will always have traffic in it. So today I went out and got a vaccine. I got the Pfizer vaccine. I live in BC in Canada, and a few days ago they enabled people that were born in 1949, like myself. They enabled us to, well, they started giving out vaccines to people our age. They also have some, um, how would I put it? They also allow people who have extenuating circumstances, or I forget what they said. They also, not only the older people, but they're also letting in people who have pre-existing conditions. So when I was in the lineup, it's supposed to be for people 72 and older when I went there. So I hobbled there on my crutches. Uh, and I got there, and everybody ahead of me in the lineup is, well, around 30, 35. There's a huge number of people showing up at that time that were, that I was told had pre-existing conditions. But in fact, later on, and I was upset. I mean, I was like, that's ridiculous, because I and other older people are waiting weeks to get appointments for a vaccination, and there's people there that, they look younger than my son, for example. Anyway, I later found out that on that particular day they were getting a lot of people from that were what do you call it, had mental challenges, and they were showing up in pairs, which I thought were couples, but they were showing up in pairs because each of these people that were showing up needed a caregiver. This is just water, by the way. So anyway, at first I was upset to see all these young people there. Not that I I'm jealous or annoyed about them getting the vaccine. I just thought, they were they're not slow at getting it to me. I think we're actually doing pretty well in BC, but relative to the rest of Canada and the rest of the world. But it was just the concept of looking at the number of people that were apparently finding ways to sort of cheat the system. Anyway, turned out pretty good. I was looked after by a nice young lady who put me in a wheelchair because I've been stumbling around on my crutch, and I asked for the wheelchair, and then she pushed me around all day, and even pushed me across the street to my truck when I was finished getting my vaccine. So I'm now, I keep looking at this. That's why I put it up in close so it's in front of my face more or less. So I'm not looking down here to see the chat. So MLC and T Schooley, Keith Crank, hi guys. Uh, Armchair Wanderer, Keith Crank. I haven't been on, I haven't been using YouTube or creating videos for months. Now, what happened? I lost interest in creating them because my body was sore. I had a number of physical kind of issues, which made it very difficult for me to get out and walk around stuff. One of them was my leg going numb, and now, in fact, it is completely numb from the hip down to the ankle, all down the front of my leg. So I'm told by the doctor that I need to have an operation, and they first do an MRI, then they give me to a specialist, or assign me to a specialist who does the operation. And I thought, well, that's fine. But now I'm told that it might be 2 months. I'm waiting for the MRI. I'll find out if in fact I am. I'm going to find a fast track. I'll be able to do that. But at the moment, I'm pretty much an invalid. I barely get out. I don't get out of my bus except when I need to go buy groceries or go to a washroom so I can do number two. Because I hate using the plastic bucket or a plastic bag. Not unless I need to, right? But I don't even get out to buy coffee anymore because that's too much hassle. And in my area, in this city, there's almost no drive-throughs. There are lots of them in throughout the rest of the Lower Mainland or in Vancouver area, but not many here. Okay, so pre-existing conditions, yeah, yeah. Too bad it's it was surprising to me to see a whole bunch of very young people in that lineup, given that I expected to see another 100 people with gray hair like me. Or I should, it's dust dirty gray. I smoke, so I get a lot of, nicotine in there too. Uh, I haven't had my hair cut since I came to Vancouver. Probably, no, I shouldn't say that. I haven't had a haircut in about 6 months, and so it's very long. Prayers for your health. Hey, thank you, Barefoot. My Nick cannot or will not get any vaccine. Everybody's got a different idea about whether or not the vaccines are safe, are worth it. I don't have any experience with it, and I don't, how would I put it? We have uh, some very serious people, not only in my province, but in my country. We have some very serious professionals who make decisions based on their best knowledge. And given I have no education, and even if I wandered around the internet for 1,000 years, anytime I start to believe I know better than hundreds of people who have gone to university and studied and worked at something for a lifetime, anytime I think I'm a little smarter than them, I think I'm being pretty damn dumb. There are a lot of things that we would say make common sense, but the fact is that there is no common sense. The, the half of the people in the world are less intelligent than the other half. So common sense would be like somebody with no IQ and somebody with high IQ both agreeing. And that never happens. Too often, a person with the low IQ feels I know better because they simply don't have the detail. They don't have the understanding to, how would I put it, make a completely informed decision. So anyway, I don't argue with people who tell me if they tell me a vaccine's safe, um, and they are talking about it on every news network and in every place. And unless I look on the internet and find some crazy guy trying to get views, I'm basically going to hear the same story from them all because they all get it from the same source, no matter who it is, whether they're for or against. Anyway, so I try to stay out of the argument. I just went and got the vaccine because it's an appropriate thing to do in a society, in my mind. Your volume is so low. Hmm. How can I fix that? My voice is a bit, is not as strong as it has been in the past. I'm trying to bring this up closer so that you get my voice. Do you get my voice now? Bit gnarly for a day or two. Oh, okay. Somebody turned their volume booster on. Can you hear me now? That's what I need to know. After I wave my hand, says somebody said I have a bus like yours. That's cool. Wisco van life. Hi. I want to tell you a story, you guys. Like some people may understand the scenario, but I have a friend who has a YouTube channel. His name is Chrome. And few years, for a number of years, we kind of hung out together. But recently, he's been not together. Like I didn't travel with him or anything, but when we ran into each other, we would get together and have a good time. We kind of hung out, uh, but up until I started. Essentially, we did it for the first summer together, second summer, but he started to travel more, so we haven't been seeing each other so much. But when I first met him, he had a pretty successful channel, and every time I showed up on his videos, I would get a bunch of new subscribers. Um, that would be because like I had 1 or 2 thousand subscribers, or at first I had like 50 subscribers, and I went on one of his lives and got 100. Then later on we got together again, and I would get these trickles like 50 new people or 100 new people. And when I say trickles, those weren't trickles, they were huge slices of people relative to the number of subscribers I had. Anyway, the last time Chrome and I did anything together, I had about 3,500 subscribers, and he just came up and talked to me in the van, and then I got 500 subscribers. But he's got how many? Two friends of ours. Well, one, yeah, two mutual friends plus another one who sort of all hang out up in Squamish, which is like 20 miles away. And they started like 2 months ago or less, those three friends, they started making YouTube videos. So they have been making YouTube videos for about 2 months and just learning how to do it. And I was making them almost every day for 2 years. I had over 400 videos, and I was getting very few new subscribers. So I got frustrated with it, especially with the body. It was hard to move my body and hard to go and make videos. So I stopped making videos for 5, 6 months. And like I say, Chrome helped a few friends start up, and they have 10,000 subscribers. In other words, they're 2.5 times as large as I got to after 400 videos. They got to 10,000 after like 5 videos. So I've been quite frustrated lately. Anyway, I'm going to be making videos as soon as something happens. As soon as I get something happening that's positive with my leg, I can get going. Anyhow, so this chat is titled Vaccine Day. Today I went, got my vaccine. I was in at the University of BC, which is like a 9-minute drive from where I am, and got there, which was kind of difficult for me to find, but I found it, made it there, discovered that I had showed up a day late. They gave me the vaccine anyway, and here I am, healthy, without any sort of side effects. So Elizabeth M says, turn the reception volume up. I have no idea how to do that. I don't know how to turn uh, the volume up on the YouTube app. It should be taking 100% volume and it should be loud enough. Right now, is it loud enough? Okay, so everybody says they hear me fine. Anyway, how are other people doing with this vaccine? Some of you, I guess, are not going to take it at all, and some of you are waiting patiently for your opportunity. If you're in the States, I think a higher percentage of people have been vaccinated. And in each of our provinces, we, much like the United States, our provinces are responsible for their health care, just like the American states are. We've been doing pretty good in my province. However, out of now, we've got about 4 million people in our province. And right now, we're getting new cases at a higher rate than any other time during the pandemic. How many people we got here? 14. That's far from a record, but I'm sure in time I'll get more views. I'm a nurse working with a variant team in case and contact. That's MLC and T schooling. I shouldn't be doing that on a live, but I've been because I'm sitting around so much and I smoke. I've been smoking way more than normal. I'm not look. I've been losing weight. My leg has been atrophying, muscles becoming atrophied or shrinking. Something happens when you turn 72. Everything starts to fall apart all at once. Hey, thanks for the super chat from MILC. Thank you very much. I need six. Yeah, that's right. 6.95 for a coffee, and my coffees it'll buy me two. I just buy the straight old coffee with cream. And nowadays, I try to make it in my bus because I don't. I can walk around in my bus because I've got things to hold on to and stuff like that, so I can be pretty safe in my bus. But as soon as I start to walk with the crutch, I have to concentrate on putting the crutch down, putting my foot down, and then taking a step. If I get, how would I put it? If I start to walk down a hill, that's a slight ingrade, a slight grade. That's enough to put me off balance, and I fall down. I can trip myself up and fall down so easily, it's crazy. Because the leg itself never responds as it should and always responds slowly. Linda Barber, did you get? No, I got the Pfizer vaccine. I've got in my province the AstraZeneca is being given to younger people because it's not. I don't think it's been, I don't think it's been proven so well for people my age. I'm 72. I was born in 1949, and actually, they just started allowing people in my province. I'm wiggling the phone around because I'm trying to put it in a place where it'll stay without me holding it. Anyway, that in my province, the people that are they started basically with the most elderly, and then have been moving down through the younger ages. And AstraZeneca in our province is being administered in a different manner. In other words, I've got a friend. He's actually parked in a vehicle right behind me, and he's trying to get an appointment at a pharmacy. He's very serious about COVID. I mean, everybody takes it differently, but he takes it very seriously. And you know, I don't, I've been here now. It's been basically a year, parked in my bus in more or less one area, and I've watched the people in the park go from being they're not having any idea how far 6 feet or 2 meters is to people walking around like park employees walking around with 6 foot wands to make sure people are know how far it is. And anyway, so I've been through this state where people were just learning how to be safe with each other, and then at another period where there seemed to be a whole bunch of parties, big families getting together, and then another period where they were more. It seemed to be more. How would I put it? More respectful, and then there would be another period where they're all having parties and stuff. It was pretty comical. Okay, so Linda Barber got the Pfizer. Only side effect was a sore shoulder the next day. Yeah, I typically don't get side effects, and even if it was a sore shoulder, um, unless it was really quite serious, I'm normally wouldn't even notice. I'm not very good at looking after my body, that's for sure. Otherwise, I wouldn't be stuck with crutches. I'm on crutches because I left this so long and didn't go to the clinic. And one of the reasons I didn't go to the clinic was well, I'll explain it. There's a bunch of reasons. Firstly, in order to go to the doctor, we generally go have a I would normally go have a bath or a shower. And my showers have always been at the what do you call it, the a park, basically a community center. And then I started to think, well, I can wash myself. I wash myself regularly, but I don't get a complete shower. And so I didn't want to go to the doctor because I'm never really feeling all that good about, you know, showing up and not feeling as clean as I should be. So I put it off partly because of that, because I would need to organize it with the shower. That's what I had in my mind. And then I also had, um, well, if I don't know if I want to go to the clinic because that's the most likely place to catch COVID. That's what I thought. So I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I put it off for about 3 months beyond any. In other words, 3 months ago I should have gone to the doctor because it was pretty obvious there was something going on and it wasn't getting better. But you know, I just kept putting it off, putting it off. Now I honestly, you know, if I got a metal brace like some kind of steel bionic knee, then I would have no problem walking around with a peg leg because you know I would not have so many reasons to fall. But right now, all I have to do is step on a step off a curb onto a different angled piece of ground, something that's not flat, and my leg will go nuts. It just the knee wobbles down. I don't know how to put it. Imagine your knee getting pushed over that way, then that way, then that way, then that way, on the way to the ground. And so you go smack the tendons, pull muscles, you know. On the way down, it's like a noodle. And so I hurt my knee really bad. Now my knee won't hold me, and my leg won't hold me. So, you know, I can't even lift the foot. I have to actually put my hand down and lift it up. I had to lift it off the floor to put it onto the wheelchair today. Yeah, Elizabeth M. One of the things, you know, it's an interesting thing. I got the crutches, and you know, if I ever played with crutches when I had two good legs, it looked like you know, crutches would be fun because you know you can kind of be acrobatic with it. But you know, if you are disabled in any way and you have to use crutches, they're not easy to use until you've used them a lot and get experience with them. Yeah, wanderer says, "How about trying a walker?" I do feel safe when I go to the grocery store and I get behind a grocery cart. But most of the walkers I've seen, they don't look like I'm a 200-pound guy, and when I start to fall, I did fall behind a grocery cart. I had to ask somebody walking by, a young man walking by, to help me get up. I mean, if there's nobody there, I can get up. But in this case, I was on a hill and stuff, so I now don't have any problem asking people to help me. However, I have had other older men that can't help pick me up because they're not strong enough. They can't pick up enough weight. Well, my our comments aren't coming in, or they're not being updated. Not sure which. MLCNT Scooty. I have a similar bus, and I use a large basin, toy bin, and a USB shower in my bus. A certain attaches to the ceiling, and then I actually have a shower. I have a hot water heater, it's like an on-demand hot water heater with what do you call it? A shower wand, and I can just open my bus door and have a shower. But I don't want to do that in Vancouver where it's very cold. I keep looking at the wrong screen. Anyway, um, I do have a shower. I can have a hot water shower outside. But in Vancouver, the temperature is just a little bit above freezing. It's mostly raining. There has not been a day, more or less right now. I could have a shower outside. I just haven't bothered yet, but I probably could do it because today the weather's pretty nice. In fact, maybe I'll do that this afternoon. That would be a good idea. Anyway, you see what happens if you're not in the habit of doing something on the regular. It's easy to put it off and not get around to it. So the purpose of this video was to simply, you know, talk about my experience. The vaccine, the people doing the vaccine are all very helpful, very professional. Mostly they're volunteers. The people that looked after me at UBC were a number of employees from, um, what was it? Western Airlines? No, it's a Canadian. It's a Canadian airline. I don't even remember their name anymore. Anyway, they're airline employees, and the woman who was pushing me around wheelchair said, "I'm with the airline. I'm used to helping people." She was very helpful, very nice, very polite, and everybody I saw was very nice, professional people. And when I got my needle, it's probably the best one I ever had. In other words, uh, uh, it was probably the least painful of any needle that I've ever gotten. So I'm happy. It's now about 3 hours later, and I've got no, what do you call it? I've got um, no side effects that I've noticed so far. And so I wanted to do a live really quick just to let people know, see me, let them know that I'm still alive. I'm pretty happy and pretty happy, except my body's fucked. Anyway, so I don't want to hang out too long. Just figured I'd come in, remind myself how to make live videos, and hopefully you did hear it. I'm going to be able to hear it later on when I play the video. I'll be able to hear the sound. But if this one wasn't very good, next one will be better. Anyway, have a great day. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe and staying healthy. And I'll see you soon. So, time to go.